A really common question as of late has been, is it worth playing Wrath of the Lich King as a casual? Let me define casual. This would be someone who may rarely raid, probably most in pugs when they do. They have limited time to play the game due to all that adult stuff people need to do, but still want to enjoy the game and all the content that it has to offer. We get really caught up, and by we, I really mean me, on all the min-maxing, creating content under the assumption you have as much time to play the game as a streamer, or someone who has so much money in the bank they never need to work another day in their life, and it's just wrong. There is loads of you guys and girls that play the game, play with a bunch of friends you love playing with, and probably have more fun with less progress, less gear, and probably couldn't care less what your profile on Warcraft logs show. While I was thinking about this video, it really has made me think so much about my own personal enjoyment of the game. I'm someone who can make a lot of time to play if I want to do that. I do enjoy endgame content, especially in Wrath, and actually being competitive on the meters is something that gets me to log on every day. But just playing like that also completely ruins so many other aspects of the game. Spending every hour in GDKP runs or farming gold for raids or gearing up ults for split runs to maximize the amount of loot your main raiders are going to get. It's all just so time consuming that what happened to just having fun? Getting a few friends together and going around doing world PvP, getting the beers in and leveling a few low level characters in dungeons together without actually getting boosted, or even worse, buying a boosted character from Blizzard. Some of the most fun I've had in Classic was actually during the hype period of the hardcore challenge and doing it in duos, because you're not in a rush. Actually, the game just feels, dare I say it, better. After that being the world's longest intro with absolutely no information about what you're even here for, let's get to the point. Can you play casually in Wrath, and how much content is there for you? Well, I would say yes. If you just want the answer so you can leave, you can absolutely play it casually, and I would argue so far throughout Classic, it's going to be the most casual-friendly expansion so far, with absolutely no barrier to entry to 5-man heroics once you're level 80, and if you just chilled questing all the way, you'll likely already have the reputations all at friendly, so you can buy the tabards to further increase your reputation with whichever faction you choose to wear the tabard for first. You really can just jump in a group for an hour to get a couple of heroics done and feel like you've made some progress. Without trying to turn this into an "oh my god, Blizzard are wrong, put random dungeon finder in" video, that is the biggest kick in the teeth for the casual player actually, and you yourself as someone with limited time or just can't be bothered taking the game too seriously may initially think they don't want random dungeon finder, but unfortunately it really does save so much time, and when you're limited on that, being able to be queued while you're doing a little bit of something else at the same time really would have been convenient. When it came to TBC, you could have even called me a casual, and I'd done a severe lack of 5-man heroics because I really couldn't be bothered looking at LFG bulletin board or a chat box all day to do a heroic. If I could have just queued and walked off and done something else and just waited for a dungeon queue to pop, I would have probably actually spent a lot more time in heroics throughout TBC. Stop it. Stop talking about random dungeon finder. So when you're doing these 5-man heroics, you're going to be getting 200 eye level gear, and you're also going to get emblems to spend. So while your gear won't be mega optimized just doing 5-man heroics as your primary source of gear, getting your reputations to exalted to buy some epics as well, and even some casual PvP to fill in other bits with honor gear, you'll still keep feeling that power of your character going up with each upgrade you get. Now, there's really two ways of looking at this, so let's look at the first example where you never want to raid. You literally have zero interest in joining a guild to raid with or pug. Actually, in the grand scheme of things, raiding is and should be a small portion of your playtime because there is so much more to do, both for PvP players and PvE players. The achievement system opens so many doors that sure, you'll never be able to get 100% achievements because there are a lot from raids, but you can do so many of them solo, such as Lawmaster, PvP achievements where, okay, you're not solo, but you can queue solo, reputation achievements, collecting mounts and pets, and so much more. You might really enjoy leveling, and I'll tell you right now, there's nothing more enjoyable than leveling a character with heirlooms that are fully enchanted up, because it makes you feel like you've got God mode on. So farming all the heirlooms, just doing 5-mans and slowly building an army of alts, that's another option. On the other side of this, you might not be against raiding, but your playtimes are so sporadic that you just can't commit to a guild to raid with because you can't be sure you're always going to be there when they need you. Well, great news. There is lots of content that's pug friendly. Doing Vault of Archivon every week on both 10 and 25-man, which there'll always be tons of pugs going for all the time, around the clock. All 10-man raids when you're not trying to push hard modes in Alduar or Heroic Trial of the Crusader or even ICC Heroic are puggable comfortably, so you can jump in any of those. It will, of course, help to keep your gear up to date as well, which will be important because remember, people will still expect you to be in reasonable gear to invite you to one of these pugs. But that being said, with each new tier of content comes an extra VOA boss, comes better badge gear, and in some cases even heroic dungeons with higher item levels, such as Trial of the Champion or even the Ice Crown 5-mans that come when ICC launches. There is simply ways to get gear without feeling the pressure to go and do hard mode 25-man raiding content or even 25-man raiding content at all, because with each phase comes better items that are also easy to obtain. This is going to shock you, but I truly believe you could play the entirety of Wrath of the Lich King and enjoy every minute of being online just by being a professions guy. What I mean by this is getting multiple characters to level 80, getting all your professions on them and just making gold. Now you're probably thinking, well, what's the point of the gold if I ain't getting gear? Well, it's another way of gearing. Some really powerful items can just be bought with gold. Think Dark Moon card greatness. The crafted gear from Ulduar, TOC and ICC when they eventually come out. World drop epics or BOE epics from raids, which some of them are absolutely bonkers, like the ring from Malagos 10 for example. This ring drops on 10-man, it's only a normal mode boss, and this ring is BOE. And it's pretty much BIS Phase 1 for most people that can make use of it. Mixing in some items that you've bought with some 5-man heroic gear and badge gear could literally carry you through the entire expansion. And honestly, the professions in the game are a game in their self. Mining and herbalism on one of your characters to then sit and mill all your herbs to try and make Dark Moon cards and get lucky, and sending all your ore that you've got to your JC to prospect and see if you can make some decent profit there, using the green gems to then cut some rings and necks to DE on your enchanter to get mats and enchant your ults and whatnot. It's got some serious legs, and if you aren't playing massive amounts of hours a week, you wouldn't tire of this particularly quick. Then one that isn't everyone's cup of tea, but dailies. There's dailies in Sholazar Basin, where you can eventually work towards hoping you hatch a mount from an egg. Dailies with the Kalawak, where you can get an epic fishing pole. Going back to the profession talk, even profession dailies like JC Daily, Fishing Daily, Cooking Daily. Just so much content. If PvP is your thing, there's even PvP dailies in Grizzly Hills. Later when Trial of the Crusader releases, you'll be spending a lot of time at the Argent Tournament grounds riding your horse around jousting for rewards, doing a daily quest in Storm Peaks every day trying to get a polar bear mount. There will be loads I haven't even mentioned, but it's just all content to consume and enjoy, which don't need you to raid. The last one isn't even a fact about content, it's more a piece of advice. Find like-minded people. Get in a guild where they don't aspire to be world number 1. They're happy just having fun with people who want to do the same content as them. It's an MMO. The experience will still be better if you share that experience with other people. Everyone knows I'm WoW's most unsociable player in game because I'm fortunate to have at least 3 viewers watching me at all times on Twitch. And they're talking to me. So that's who I share my experiences with. But just don't go it alone. It will make getting in 5-mans quicker. You'll be doing the content with people who have the same mindset, and ultimately it'll end up being a lot more of an enjoyable experience than getting in with sweaty hardcore players in full BIS raid gear wanting to kick you because you've done 10 DPS less than what a sim said you should be doing. Now I know this was a strange video coming from me, but I do try to cater to everyone. Ultimately I want everyone to enjoy the game in the way they enjoy the game, and I think even I've lost my way over the years. And I'm wanting Wrath to even bring out my inner casual, so I can join you guys in the Goldshire Inn using the Texas Hold'em add-on for some naughty gambling sessions. That was actually something that I used to do a lot of back in original Wrath. After a raid, we'd sit and play poker all night. I do miss those days. Instead, nowadays, what I'll do is just fly around farming herbs to be able to get 200 potions of speed to use in my raids all week. Be sure to like, subscribe. Well, if you enjoyed the video, like. If you didn't enjoy it, just leave. Go now. Get out. But subscribe before you go, just in case I do a video that you will like, and roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes, everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name, and you get access to members only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.